one of the questions I want to ask about the governor's job bill, where he's going to take the income tax that workers pay and give it back to the companies and take it out of the education trust fund, but there's no job requirement, certain number of jobs for a certain number of jobs. Do you support that bill?
Okay, run that by me again.
Okay, one of the governor's proposals is to give a tax credit, the income tax that workers are paying in certain companies if they invest it back in capital improvement or whatever. Doesn't have to create any jobs, but it would be a big drain on the education trust fund. You know, and in your top of your list was the increased funding for education, but it appears at the top of the governor's list is to cut funding for education. Where do you stand on that bill?
There's a lot that's being offered out there right now, or suggested, or talked about, or simply rumored that I have yet to study or research. Until I see it in a bill, I won't have a clue as to what they're trying to do. And so, do you know if that's in bill format yet? I've heard some rumors along the way.
Just reading from the governor's State of the State address, it was part of his information at that point. Don't know whether it's in a bill format or not, but you know,
Okay.
It appears to take money away from education, and you're to be commended for wanting to put more money into education, and certainly that's all of our goals for our children.
That could possibly be, is it HB 159? Have you heard that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me read the synopsis that I have here. HB 159, it says, must be passed to set up an election because we are asking for a constitutional amendment. So one, it would require a constitutional amendment. And so anyone voting for this bill would simply be voting to allow the people to vote on it. Okay. Amendment to allow a percentage of employees' income tax withholdings to be held back from the state and given to the company as an incentive, provided the company has met the requirements in becoming an approved project. And then likewise, they would have to pass another bill, HB 160, thereafter. Okay, and so I want to hear from you guys. I like to hear the extremes. Okay, I believe I've preached balance since day one, and I've been misquoted several times on several media outlets as reference to balance being a biblical principle. Okay, and not the raise of a teacher. Okay, so there again, that is something that I'll have to sit down and listen to both sides of the argument to be educated, to educate myself. And I welcome you. I welcome you to come sit down and talk with me, educate me on the issues at hand from the perspective that you see them from, and I want to hear from the other extreme side. And that helps me find the balanced perspective of where I need to land, and whether maybe it's a good bill that has some bad in it. Maybe it's a bad bill that has some good in it. And maybe there's some amendments that need to be made that would make it best for both parties involved. And so that is my effort that I try to take with any bill.